The jet is taken off.
We have liftoff.
Well, the Winnipeg Arena is all white.
It's a special night for Winnipeg, a special night for this entire province as the puck is dropped.
For Buffalo, cross ice for Riley, scores!
Mark Scheifele gives the Jets the lead.
The ticket to the Jets game today.
It clearly will be one of the best places to come and watch a National Hockey League game.
The Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from the USHL Youngstown, Kyle Connor.
Jets Fantasy Field Podcast, episode 10. We're going to be talking top 11 defense there. Just watched the Minnesota preseason game. Some more upsides for this game, definitely. I'm going to get Patty Sumrocks to take the lead on here.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to get some free tickets to go see the preseason game. Front row, on the 300s. But I'll still take
Front row, the 300s. You got me excited there for a second.
The pigeon front row.
How do you even call that front row?
It's fine. Pullman, huge bounce back game. Way stronger. Stood up for his teammate.
Yeah, how about that?
Absolutely wrecked.
How about that? We're going to need some of that this
Stood
year.
up for him. At worst, broke even on the fight.
Mhm.
Definitely stood up for himself there.
Yeah, Lowry's our only fighter right now. We need a couple of people coming up in the system.
Yep. Cease played well. Scored the empty netter, but he was just solid all around.
Yeah, as the first game. Yeah.
Kopp got some top 6 time.
Yeah.
He didn't look out of place. Made some good plays.
Not surprised about that. I do expect a lot about Cobb. When you have certain expectations for players coming into it, that's where your answers lie. If you expected Cobb to do a top 9 role, you'd be crazy. He should be in that game. He should have been top line probably.
Yep. He's just not bad at anything. He's good at like the grind game, good penalty killer, good shot, decent playmaking. He's not great at anything, but he's not bad at anything
Yeah,
either.
I would have
He's nice
switched.
all around.
I would have switched him for Scheifele that game.
Shifley was awful all game yesterday. He drove me absolutely nuts.
He wasn't going fast enough to do the things he was trying to do.
We counted at least 5 times, me and the guy that watched him last night. He would pass the blue line, and then by the first ad board...
Man, I'm curious. Who did you go to the game with? Who's the guy that you go?
Uncle-in-law.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
great.
I was like...
he pulled up, he would stop on a dime within the first ad board, and then wait 2 seconds, then try to cross-ice front the pass. And it would get intercepted every time because of the pause he would take. And then he kept making the exact same play. I don't know if that's what Maurice is telling him to do, but it was just not working out, and it was driving me up a wall.
It's probably more a system. Maybe they're trying out something there, but obviously not working.
Not working.
Yeah.
Not even close. Someone else who stood out, Shibasov, again. Solid game. He played well. Boissois, great saves.
Yep.
He was solid, even though Minnesota, I'd be surprised if they had 20 shots. The game was entirely in the Minnesota end.
Yeah. And let's get real here. Minnesota's going to be one, if not the worst team in our division. So the fact that we played that good against one of the shittiest farm teams or the rookies you could come from isn't that much of a win, but I think it built some confidence in the people, and Pullman definitely needed that last.
Yeah, big bounce back game for him.
Yeah.
Vesalainen was still useless. Didn't win a puck battle. He had a couple shots after Morrissey found him open on the wing, but still did absolutely nothing with it. He still drives me crazy.
Yeah, we got to give him some chances though. Just coming into this game speed is even when you have the first 10 games of the season, it doesn't really matter. I remember from my long seasons, it was when you would come into your stride was more so like it would just randomly happen about like a month and a half into the season. Once you're getting your wheels going, your adrenaline's going, you're not even thinking about plays, your head's up, everything's coming automatic. Everything kind of comes. He's such a muscle memory kind of player that he's going to have to learn our systems and come into that. And once he does, I think he'll be fine. He has all the skating, the skill to do it, but to look and play in our Jets system, he looks out of place. Absolutely. He's got to learn our shit. Like,
the next time Cheveldayoff trades for a second line center to replace Little at the trade deadline, I would trade Vesalainen over the first round pick for this year's draft.
Yeah, but we got to build around the young guys. Like, we got to keep this guy down. We're stuck with him.
It's
I
hard.
hate Vesalainen.
Really? No. Give him
Awful.
Remember when the Atlanta Thrashers came here, otherwise known as the Atlanta Country Club Boys? They had a guy named Miettinen who they tried very hard to get.
Mitts.
Yeah, Mitts. He had Mitts, all right. And he's not here. Handled the puck like a hand grenade.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see Vesalainen making the team ever.
I'm on the opposite side.
I hope I'm wrong 5 years from now, but I just don't see it.
Dude, you kidding me? I'm on the starting lineup. Line 4, beside Lowry.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was before I saw Luetto play.
How many people are getting injured?
How many people are getting traded? Is it better?
I'll tell you what, Dr. C.J. Seuss, or Cease, as it is
Yeah.
properly
I love how
pronounced.
you call him
It's spelled
Doctor
like Seuss.
before
Dr.
everything.
Seuss.
We
That's
call
what I
him
was calling
Doc.
him
That's
last
his new
night.
Really?
nickname, Doc. He is a nice two-way player. He reminds me a little bit of John Tonelli. He's pugnacious, tenacious, and you need to have that on your forward line.
Prognacious and tenacious.
I'd pick.
Pugnacious.
I'm just kidding.
I'd have Cease over Vesalainen all day long.
Oh yeah, the way he's playing right now. But I think for overall upside, Cease has come to a point where he's finally getting into the league. He's been around for a little bit. If he was as young as Vesalainen at his age, he wouldn't have been that good. So you got to give Vasi some credit how young he is and how much room he has to grow. At the draft too, if you looked at the draft, who else would you pick there? Like I think Jets he was falling into our laps, and it's more about him learning the system. But we'll see what happens, man. Like
Yeah. I'll be more than happy to do it, but I just don't see it.
Hey, well, yeah, that's what I love, man. We're gonna come back and listen to this. And you're like, dude, you're
Yeah, 5
totally
years from
right,
now,
man.
you're such a dumbass.
Vasi puts up 60 points this year.
When in doubt, go with the Canadian kid, because you know that they're going to be trained properly, especially if they played in the Western League or the Ontario Hockey League. If they're defensemen from the Quebec League, well, maybe they're not going to play tough D.
Shabbat will
Make
play
up
some
for it.
nice D for you.
Oh, 2015.
Yeah, that 2015 draft paying dividends for every team but Boston.
Yeah. Who did they skip on? Barzal.
They had 3 straight first round picks, and they picked 2 guys and DeBrusque.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 picks were Kyle Connor, Matthew Barzal, Thomas Chabot.
Yeah. Barzal was before Connor.
A little bit of a swing and a miss.
Wow.
Man, Shelly, you left your goalie list here last time. I was looking at it. You wrote down Holtby twice, you idiot. You had him at 8 and 11. And I looked at it twice because I was like, there's no way I'm that high. But I was like, you for sure wrote it twice.
Well, I just wrote the name wrong. I meant to put Markstrom's name there as a possibility, and I put Holtby there because we were talking about him.
Yeah, but still, that's pretty close together. I could see if you put him at 2 and 12, but you have him at 8 and 11. You can literally see it in the same sentence. There you are.
One was in, one was out. I was sitting on the fence whether he should be on it or not as evidence there, but it was actually Markstrom who played it in the 12 spot.
Oh, so
Okay,
that
nice.
you're contemplating. I see. Got your marbles mixed
I'm
up.
sorry, in the 11 spot. I actually put Hellebuck in the 12 spot for all of those lovely Jets fans. I heard that, by the way.
We all know Shelley didn't have too much coffee today, so
Yeah.
I did almost beg out of this, I was almost going to La La Land and I get the call.
Man, he said he was going to come later because he had to take a 3-hour nap. For everyone that doesn't know, 20 minutes is all you need. It's
Well,
not.
apparently not. I wrote Holtby down twice.
Love it. All right, on that
Is there any other
note.
news to go, or
No. Well, obviously the Bufflin, we didn't bring it up.
Oh, right.
He apparently we were thinking that he might just miss 40 games again this year, but now it's more looking like he might be thinking about retirement, and a lot of people are kind of bummed out, and I might be the only one that's kind of celebrating the win there.
but that's 5D missing now.
I don't
For
care.
the start of
It's
the year.
moving forward. There's 5D coming up in the
Just
system.
start from fresh. Give Niku way more ice time.
Niku is
Niku was a
is a
standout,
lock.
by the way.
Is a lock, but yeah.
He's a nice player.
Yep. They have enough D to make it too. Who cares if they're shitty? Get a good draft round pick. We're coming in some hard times here, and if I think Buffalo knows that too. He's probably like, I'm going to play for this team this year. It's going to be not that fun. I don't remember my last NHL years being like this. And it's coming into that time. And I don't know. We're going to find out what happens with it. But it's we'll see what happens with that. Thoughts? I feel like I'm...
Maybe the injuries have taken a toll.
Yeah.
And he's, the
just
mixture
broken
of
down.
rough season. Maybe he's got some issues with other teammates. Maybe he's just not... He got to training camp and he's like, I don't really want to do this. Like, I just don't have it this year. I thought I would, but I'm just not mentally prepared for a whole season. Who knows what it was? Hopefully he does come back for the Jets' sake.
Man, I heard he went to Finland to convince Laine to play, and then ended up falling in love with Finland. And now he just lives there. Big rumor now.
For all you Winnipeggers out there, this is why people have trouble coming to play here, because of the incessant rumor mills and gossip. And
Finland's not that nice.
Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows what's going on, and obviously there's a problem somewhere in the organization because they're having trouble keeping secrets. But apparently, it's not somebody here; it's somebody in Toronto. So wrap your head around that one for a minute.
Like it. Top 11D.
Bufflin's not on it.
No.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. Even with his 40 games and 37 points.
It's point per game when he's out there.
Yeah. Too much of injury concern. Too much of everything concern. Sounds like a lot of concerns. You saw Chevy on a... He's looking pretty...
After the Morrissey signing, he looked tired.
He's looking tired and stressed, yeah.
He's stressed out.
Yeah, as he should be. But... the whole signing Morrissey before everyone else. Yeah, let's not even go down that road. Let's literally sign everyone we can before Laine and Connor. They signed Bork. Give that $700K to one of them and don't sign Bork.
That was a loud message to the loyal fans.
Yeah,
it's our team. Who coughed up the money and the 2.5% increases.
He's
the
the
ones
worst.
That still have the tickets that weren't yanked from them because their drunken uncle might have said something that sounded like a swear word. The Kool-Aid drinkers are starting to thin themselves out of the herd, so we'll see how this season goes. It's looking like it could be a real challenging season for Coach Maurice.
He's easy to coach, don't get me wrong, Bork, but he does nothing good. He just does the bare minimum. He's no upside, he's old. I think he's rated a 68 on NHL 20.
If Winnipeg does as bad as we all think they're going to do this year, does Maurice get canned?
Halfway through the season.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so do I.
He's been here a long time.
He's coached an awful lot of games for a coach with a losing record.
But is it his fault, though, is the question. I don't think so.
Can it not be his fault if over and over again where he goes, he
let's
doesn't win?
replay. Somehow, if we played some cards and had the same team as last year coming into this year, how would we feel about the team? Maybe we made a few trades.
We'd be pumped.
We would be. So more it wouldn't matter, and he would just do his thing, and everything would come to play. Is it his fault that we're going to be bad this year? If you look at everything that has happened,
I think it's the owner's fault for tying his hands with ice time.
Maybe whoever's fault. I don't think it's going to be his this year, because if you have a good enough system, you're still going to need good enough players to play it, and we just have a lack of depth this year, you could say. And that's even if Laine and Connor sign. What if they don't sign?
A lot of one-dimensional guys on a team.
Yeah. And you could see last year it wasn't working.
Nope.
None of the systems. And
stopped clicking right around February.
Honestly, I looked into it. It was more of an assistant coach kind of thing. So he was in charge of the PK power play, and that wasn't working. Hendricks came in.
That was the hardest part to watch. Was watching the same thing happen. What did they say the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And I saw the same thing, I'm going to have to say it, our captain turning the puck over 10, 12, 13 times on power plays. And we got guys like Connor and Roslovic sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know why the power play's going through Wheeler.
Why do we never give rookies ice time? It's dude, when someone messes up on the power play like Wheeler does, that's fine. Play him on the first one. When he messes up, play someone else. I don't care if it sends a message. He's more mature to get over that. He's not going to stress him out that much. It's just more like, oh yeah, you don't have the hands tonight? Sweet. Roslovic does. He's the best passer on our team. Why didn't Laine score as much last year? He didn't have Roslovic on his line.
But let's not forget when Laine, Ehlers, and Scheifele played together for those first magical 10 or 15 games, They were tearing it up, and for no reason that became evident to anybody, it was dismantled. And you can bet that there were people who were upset with how these guys are making a lot of the veterans look. So it was fixed.
Do you know why it was dismantled so easy? It was coming from the Wheeler. No. I was more so talking about their line, how it kind of fell apart. And all year, Scheifele was passing to Wheeler, vice versa. They had all these plays, and then they'd, go behind the net, do a cycle, bring it back out to the winger on the other side. He'd either be streaking in the high slot or coming down the left side. Either way, all the teams knew it was going to go through Wheeler or Scheifele first. When you start adapting to that and you start cheating that, oh, Scheifele's got the puck, where's Wheeler? I'm going to cover him. You're fucked. You got to get that three-man cycle going. The best lines in hockey don't have a weak link. Pasternak, Bergeron, Marchand, you have no clue what any of them are doing the whole time, other than they're going to have the puck the whole time because no one knows what they're doing.
You're terrified of all three shooting the puck.
It's a three-person cycle.
That's like Sagan and Ben, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
don't want any of them shooting.
And now Pavelski. Oh, man.
You can cycle with two people, don't get me wrong, but until a certain point, it becomes predictable. So when you have the three people on that and you get the D's starting to pinch in, I think it's going to be a different story for sure. But to get back in our list, we keep getting distracted.
To start it off.
All right, bam.
Top 11 D.
Yep. Take it away here, Patty.
Number 1, Brent Burns. If he's not your number 1 pick when you start taking D,
you should fold your team in. No.
You know he's going to get points.
Yeah.
You know he's going to get points if he doesn't get
machine.
hurt.
Yeah. He's had 5 healthy seasons in a row now.
Yeah.
All 82 games.
He can play.
300 shots last year, 83 points.
Yeah, he's just goals, assists.
It doesn't matter. They signed Carlson. He gets the same amount of ice time. If not, he's more important. Carlson can actually hit him more.
Yeah. Carlson just passes it to Brent Burns.
Yeah.
It just if Carlson's playing, it just changes who passes it to Brent Burns.
Yeah. And there's no debate in the top 3. If anyone wants to debate, Burns has had 5 healthy seasons at 82 games last 5 years. So
and in the top 5 in scoring on D, probably, for those same 5 seasons.
300 shots last year, you're obviously going to get some good looks there. Pavelski on the move could have an impact of how much screening is going to get done, but when you replace that with Timo Meier having probably one of the best years coming up. Yeah, I have Meier more of a upside.
Well, just
than
the depth on San Jose.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if anyone gets injured. They've got the next guy up. No problem. There's no shortage of skill.
Yeah. Maybe on the D side, though, if Burns goes down.
Yeah, if Burns and Carlson go down.
Yeah. How about that Jones pick? What'd you have from that?
I still like it. Doesn't matter.
You had Jones at 6.
5.
Oh, you doucher.
Burns. You made my list.
I'm not even going to ask you, Shelley, because if you don't have Burns.
I have Burns at 2.
Oh, what?
Who's at number 1?
Oh, you guys aren't going to like this.
Yeah, we won't.
I got Morgan Riley.
Okay, I do like that. But let's go back to the Ridge list here. I like Riley. That's a good pick. Number 2, I think, is a safer bet going Hedman just because of the pace they play at. John Cooper is probably one of the best coaches. Watching San Jose play, they were basically looked like everyone's first line. And when they got to their 4th line, they were just as fast as their first line.
Are you talking Tampa?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that being said, where does it come from? It comes out from the breakout. And Hedman, he only had, I think, 24 power play points, 25 last year.
He plays half the game, too.
He's going to get up to the 30 range for sure. That power play isn't going anywhere. He only had 54 points last year, but 70 games. He's got
Mr. Consistency, too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's surrounding cast more for me there. And Riley, same thing. If you have a placement where Riley goes after Hedman and you pay less for him, definitely take him. Shelley's not wrong about the Riley pick. It's more so what your list looks like. But for points-wise, I think Hedman will probably get just as much, as not more, and he's a safer bet on the plus-minus side. He's a plus 24 last year. If that's a category in your draft or fantasy, which most fantasies have that as a category, plus 24, you're good. You're good to go.
Definitely happy with it.
Yeah. I think players average at like a plus 5 or a minus 5, so could do some damage for you. My next pick, definitely you guys don't have him as high. Gustafsson.
On Chicago?
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
Agreed on the not as high. He's just had the 1 year sample size. That's the only reason he's a little lower, but I love the season he's going to have
So do I.
this year.
Did we not love the season he had last year, though?
I agree.
Like,
Yeah, finished 6th in scoring.
60 points, 79 games, could have been up to like 63. Doesn't matter. He didn't really start to turn it on or get points until he started getting power play time and started getting used to their system. He was one of the fastest D I've seen last year. He had a hard shot. He had what'd you think, his third most in goals, or like he was right up there. And for coming into a system like that and a team and helping them out like that, I'm very sure Chicago wouldn't have the turnaround season they had without him.
He's right behind Keefe too on ice time now, and contract year. You know he's going to be motivated.
Good call.
Big contract year.
And at 10 points, he has over a 10% shooting percentage. Most D only have about a 3 to a 5. 7's really good.
Yeah.
To have a 10% shooting, he only had 18 power play points and got 60 points still. When that number goes up to 35 with Kane, DeBrincat, and Strome coming through on the power play, doesn't matter. Taves, you put him in there. If Strome isn't, you're guaranteed.
10% shooting percentage. Kane must have found the back door a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming from somewhere. And where did NHL have them?
NHL had
Gustafsson
at 16.
16, yeah.
They just don't think he's going to repeat, I guess, or they don't.
So
put
am
him
I
at the
reaching
top.
when I have him at 3?
I loved it. I have him at 6.
I
have him at 8.
I had him at 2 originally. The only reason I picked Hedman in front was because the whole plus minus and guaranteed.
And consistency. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gustafsson, he's going to probably have a similar season to last year.
Yeah. And the placement you get him. If you don't pick up him at that number, you're
60 points last year.
Yeah. He's
darn impressive for a first-year player, basically.
Yeah, his first year coming in too, right? So, he. What do you think point wise for this year?
He's going to be knocking on 70.
Yeah.
Knocking the door on 70.
All right, 73. You heard it here.
Yeah.
I think the league's coming into more
My
points.
hopes for Chicago bounce back.
Yeah, I think the D race is going to be close.
So, yeah.
Burns will get his 80, 84, whatever points. Hedman's going to be in the right under, probably like 80.
Another thing with Chicago, too, they're going to play more aggressive because it's not Cam Ward back there anymore. It's going to be Robin Leonard. A little bit more faith in the goaltender. They're going to play a little bit more offensively minded. Just a couple more points to add to Gustafsson.
How many points do you think Hedman would get, realistically?
Hedman, 60, 65, but it's a lock.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
that's the thing too,
difference.
right?
And plus minus.
Yeah. 65 is a safe lock. I have him from like a little more than that, maybe even to 75 or so. But take a quick break here. We'll be right back for segment 2. Welcome back, segment 2. I got a surprise pick. It seems like my 4th pick is always a surprise pick. This was no brainer. What I've seen from playoffs last year, I couldn't believe Anaheim let him go to build the suspense. I'm not going to say his name yet.
It's not on my list, and I guarantee you it's not on Shelley's list.
2013, 26th pick overall, 8 points in 7 playoff games last year. Theodore from Vegas.
Oh, that's an excellent pick.
He only
That's an
had
excellent pick. I watched him play. You're right.
37 points last year. Don't let that number fool you. He started to come on his own at the end there. He only had 9 power play points. Once that goes up, you put another at least 20 on there. You got Stone, Pacioretty for a full season. Everything's kind of coming to its own as a team, I would say. They're starting to weed off what kind of players really didn't fit in their system, but were still good. But they're on a full-on board to the point where you're getting rid of Holla for someone like Tuck. People might think that's crazy, but when you watch Tuck play,
I agree.
He's one of the
a good two-way player. I always liked him.
One of the better younger players. Like everything they're doing in Vegas, they've known from day one of what they want to do, and Theodore fits right into the middle of the power play. He's their best defense. There's no one that really touches what he's done. Playoffs last year, he went around with like 5 guys, did this sweet move, scored like a backhand goal. Like you don't really see that from defense in those kind of big games, but like Theodore has always been that player that I couldn't believe when Anaheim was like, oh yeah, like he's one of our players that you can potentially take. I was like, what? Like you saved all these players, and then you gave them away for nothing this year. Like, you would have kept Theodore because he's young. Like, I don't get why people get
How
rid
many
of him.
points do you think he'll get?
Theodore? 68.
Wow. Big up.
He is going to have a huge season.
Well, that's kind of like what my expectation is for my guy in number 4, who you guys will never have on your list.
We'll see if he comes up, though, for sure.
If you agree with Blair's sentiment that Theodore's going to have a major season, he's another one of those guys that you just wait a little bit in the draft to pick up
Yeah.
to get the exact same value as a big name that they're going to have. Because if you're doing a fantasy pick list against 8 guys that just go off the NHL list, Theodore's set 29 for a defenseman.
I have him at 4.
So he's the kind of guy that, you know, if you think you're going to get the same value out of him as a Tyson Berry or Morgan Riley or whoever your friends are going to have at 4,
Yeah.
you can just wait later in the draft and just pick him up much later.
That's huge. That's a good point. That's kind of what our list would go off. It's not more so like... It is. This is what's going to happen this year. Listen in. Next pick, number 5. I don't like this pick because I hate the team, but I know you love the team.
It's hard to. Another thing got added to the list. Now they just seized his private jet because he can't pay his debts.
Yeah, we were talking about that. 2015, best draft year we've seen in a while here. 18th pick in that draft year. Shabbat, 55 points, and I think he was missing a few games last year there too. 70 games played. So when you turn that into a full 82 game season, he's looking over 60 points.
And don't forget to mention too, Boucher's gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the coach is; they're going to be more offensively minded than Boucher was. Chabot's going to get more points just virtue by a different system.
Anyone in that 2015 draft you should pick up, especially since a whole team is going to be run through him. He's going to get a touch on everything, even if they lose in a night, 7-3, 9-3, even some 12-3s probably this
How
year.
many points did he have last year? I thought he had 70.
He had 55 points in 70 games.
Oh, it's 70 games played, right?
Yeah, so 16 power play points, that's going to move up to at least the 20 range. I don't care how bad they are, he's going to get a touch on everything. They're going to get 20 power play goals, he'll probably get 20 points on it.
After I saw Chabot on your list, I almost regretted not having him on my list, especially considering my background.
You're a Sens fan. You don't have him on your list?
He's on my just missed, but I just like I just don't know who he's going to pass it to. I agree he's going to be a part of every goal.
He's a lock.
I just think they might get 20 power play goals all year.
He's a lock for 65 points. If I didn't have Theodore getting 68, he would have got my 4th spot. So lock him up at 5. I'm not sure what NHL had him at.
NHL had him at
But
19.
19. So
He should be higher than 19.
yeah.
But I just don't have him in the top 11.
I think are people that make the NHL list not watching these games? Like,
I'm not sure.
you watch certain
I
players.
think they're using computer analytics to generate statistical probabilities.
I'm fine with it because it makes it easier money for us on fantasy drafts.
It does. It's like ridiculous. Everyone that looks at like NHL's list and is like, hey,
It does until you see who I picked at number 4 compared to your...
yeah, I can't wait to hear it too. Number 6, Riley.
I had him higher than 6. Love the player.
Shelley had him at 1.
Yep.
So that's nuts.
I think he's going to let it up. I think he's going to get about 80 points. I seriously do.
I don't think you're wrong with that. Do you know what the problem is?
The only fear might be Barry taking the power play 1 time. He's still going to get the same ice time at 5 against 5. That's when Toronto schooled other teams.
If they didn't pick up Barry, he would have been my top 2-3 list. Absolutely. The way he plays, the way I watch him, how many posts he's hit in the last couple of years is ridiculous. He's still got 72 points last year, 21 power play points. That's going to move up to at least 30, so you're guaranteed 10 points there. And he's not on the decline. My problem is the whole Barry thing. What if and when if? More of a when if. Is that a thing? When Barry comes in, he is one of the best players to get a shot through. And when you're getting a shot through to Tavares in front of the net, whatever it may be, Barry is brutal on defense, but he's one of the best power play players I've seen. And he's a right-handed shot, and that's what power plays are drawn off. Riley being a left-handed shot the power plays aren't really run through a lefty anymore, and the systems just work better from the right side. I don't know if it's because most goalies catch on the left, and there's maybe something going on with the whole tip thing there, but it's not a coincidence that most of the good teams have a right-handed D. That's what everyone looks for in a draft now. It's not an unknown fact. Like, there's no surprise here, and that's why I've dropped Riley to 6th, because I think Barry's going to have a huge season this year. I have Toronto doing pretty well this year, and it comes around the whole, like, Riley-Barry sharing power play time. And that's going to put a bump in his power play numbers. Like, he'll probably stay the same. He'll probably still get 21, but I don't see him moving up from the 70-point range.
You think you're crazy having Riley at 6? I think the NHL's crazy having him at 10.
10?
10.
I thought it was, like...
10.
Yeah. What?
That's insane. He was third in points last year. I don't know what list they're going off of.
Man, who makes these NHL?
Just to enforce the fact.
Yeah.
Don't pick Riley as your 10th defenseman.
No, but if you get him around 6, you're good. No. 7. It was a hard pick for me. I had to go with the obvious Carlson from Washington. When you're playing on a power play with Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Backstrom, Oshie, whoever you want to call it, on that power play, you're going to get points. He had 70 points this year, 68 last year. He's consistent, 82 games for a while now. 33 power play points. He always hits about the 30 range for power plays, and it's because he's one of the main guys on there. He's got a rocket shot. He's reliable. He's good at defense. He's got everything going there. I think he's a solid pick for that kind of range. He has no really upside from the 70-point range. If you're looking to get into the 80 to the 85s, like we were talking about, you pick the other players because they do have more upside. But if you want a guaranteed 70 points, it depends where he's placed. But pick Carlson.
I have him at 5. So just a slightly higher, but yeah, same sort of story.
Yeah.
Just consistency. He's not going to kill you on the plus-minus column. He's responsible. And he's just going to get those sweet, sweet power play apples.
How many points do you have him for then?
65 to 70. He's
so, you just don't have as much faith in your list. My 5 has more points than that. Carlson, where'd you have him, Shelly?
I don't have him on my list because I had to bump him in order to put players that you didn't.
To put Holtby twice. I got Trouba next.
No, I had Keith Yandel and Yossi ahead of him.
Nice. Trouba coming in at 8. 50 points last year. Everyone knows what he did here in Winnipeg. What's intriguing about him? The whole him moving to New York, he is basically the main guy. He's going to be... There's no one he can fight power play time for now. Last year he shared it between Myers, Buff, Morrissey. He only had 18 power play points. This year he's going to definitely reach the 35 range, being the main core.
35?
35.
Power play.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bold.
That's bold because he's going to carry all the ice time. He's going to get 27 minutes a game this year. He's going to be their horse back there. And there's no stopping him. When you actually give Trouba the ice time, the money, the loyalty, everything he wasn't getting here, he's going to show what he's actually been able to do his whole life.
A team he wants to play on.
Yeah. He's more so playing this year, and it's not a contract year for him. It's more of a fuck you Winnipeg year for him, and that's why I have him so high. It's a surrounding cast too. You're the main dude playing with Panarin. Zibanejad has a bounce back here. Not a bounce back here. It's an outbreak here. He was playing so well at the end of it last year. He's got a release there. I think he's going to hit at least the 75, 80 point range. Kako is a guaranteed lock.
Screw you. Hughes year.
Yeah. So everything they have going on in New York.
Kako.
Yeah. Watching him in the juniors, like it's ridiculous. Even in the Worlds, getting 6 goals against men, like being 18. So I think Trouba at an 8 is going to be a lock. I'm not sure what NHL had them at, but it's looking promising. A lot of Winnipeg people, if you take Buffalo over Trouba, you're an idiot and just give up your draft. It'll happen though. It'll be hard feelings for some of us Winnipeg fans to actually pick Trouba because we don't want to root for him now that he's traded, but it's a two-way street.
There's
guys like who? We're going to save it for next segment. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Segment 3. Shelly's got a little insight on segments.
A fixed unit of time becomes smaller the older we get. So time does in fact speed up the older we get. That's the relativity theory of time.
Wow.
must explain why like being 12 felt like 5 years compared to what a year feels like now.
Boom.
Yeah, time moves pretty quick, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost fucking 30. And, like, I remember turning, like, 21 or something. I was like, sweet. I'm, like, young and shit.
Wait till you start referring to the hockey players on your team as kids when they're under 40. I don't know when exactly I got to do that, but it happened in the last, in the last 17 years. Last couple of decades. These guys have been busting my balls when we've been taking breaks.
Man, you have, like, what would you call it? An Easter egg in your hockey bag? Shelly's got this green helmet.
Oh, the Hammarby hard hat. Are you kidding? It's an honor.
Yeah.
1977, Hammarby, Sweden was given to me by Ulf Nilsson and Anders Hedberg when Bobby Hull had the hotline, and I used to play with one of his kids.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Handed out to the hardest working player every game.
He does, but when we go and like I go to like some of his skates, nobody fucking wears it. Like, I won't fucking wear this. Like, what is this and shit? And like, but I understand where it's coming from. But it's fucking dusty. It's dusty, man. Who do we got? Who do we got? What's up? I think we got the same number 9 here. Jones, Columbus. Pick after McKinnon. I remember Colorado was going to pick him, and they picked McKinnon last minute there. Jones was supposed to go first in the 2013 draft. Not many points last year. I'm more so looking at play, touches, what he's done in the second half of last year, what he is supposed to do, and I think he's going to come into his own this year. If it doesn't happen this year, it's not going to happen. And this is the year we bet on him. 46 points, only 10 power play points last year is not enough. If Columbus wants to do any good, he's got to at least hit 20.
Is it Werenski taking too much time from him though?
Yeah, but the power play at the end of the year started clicking because the players they got, and they started going from that left side, and from that left side, right-handed D have a better shot to the net. So Werenski as maybe a better defense. You still have I have the whole Barry or Riley thing going on here. I got Barry high because the right-handed. I got Jones higher than Werenski because he's right-handed. Yeah. I think he's more reliable defensively. He's 6'4", he's huge.
If I was picking D to build my team around, Jones is way higher up. He's in my top 5.
Yeah.
NHL's got him at 11.
Okay.
I have him just missing by 11, just because I'm not sure how the power play is going to be in Columbus. Exactly like you said. Maybe that means it gets ran through him more. But I'm not sure. Like, they don't have Panarin to finish the play anymore.
You could almost have this year. You might even not be surprised if you see Jones and Werenski on the power play for Columbus this year.
I'd go for that if I was them. But I'm not sure if that's what Tortorella wants to do.
Yeah, you'd be safe to stack those two players though. They're going to carry that team this year.
Definitely.
Yeah, fans are into it. I think they're going to have a little better season than they had last year. Everyone's kind of excited down there now, so it's nice to see a little change for them there. Even though I hate them, but I like the player. Jones is good. Shelley,
I am not hating on Jones.
No,
he's definitely just I just don't know if he's going to get it might be a similar point output than last year.
But who's rooting for Columbus? Have you ever met a Columbus fan? You know what I mean? Like, I cheer for Columbus. Like, no. Like, no one cheers for Columbus. You kidding me? Not even Columbus people. Like,
well, that's not true.
They all came out at playoffs. It took them all until they made playoffs.
They have a large, loyal following in the Ohio area, and they love the owner. The people there are loyal to the owner. And
man, no one came to their games until they're up 3-0 against Tampa, and everyone came.
Well, maybe they were using the same model that marketplaces such as Winnipeg and Calgary and Edmonton use, which is basically the shakedown. Got as much money out of them as you can since you've already got them on the hook, and maybe some of them didn't care for that. But plus, they're not hockey fans the way that we're hockey fans, or Minnesota are hockey fans, but they're not far behind.
Man, they're pretty far behind. The fucking celebration is a 1670 cannonball thing. Like, that thing, they're not with the times. Like, that's pretty old school. Like, I do like their coach though. He's such an a-hole, but he's such good. Like,
he takes all the pressure off the players.
He does. He draws all the social media. Imagine playing for somebody like that. Like,
the journalists aren't talking about the players after the game.
No.
They're talking about what Tortorella is going to think about the player after the game. It takes all the pressure off.
But if he asked you to do something, you'd probably do it. He just has that like thing in him. You're like, can you do that for me? You'd be like, yeah, man.
It's after he made a comment to the media, Werenski all of a sudden just signed a contract.
Yeah.
Calls out Werenski that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be disgusting if he misses a single game of training camp.
Yeah.
And then magically, 48 hours later, he's got a brand new contract under market value. Wonder how that happened.
Man, the power they have, man. Like, even playing for Babcock in Toronto, man, he's hawking, man. You ever look at those eyes? You'd like hockey if you didn't do something. Like, it wouldn't even be worth it. I would just do it, you know?
Definitely.
Who do we got next? A little surprise pick at 10 here. I hate it, but I had to do it. I hate Minnesota. I hate everything about them. They're going to be last in the Central this year.
God.
I'm going there.
No.
Yeah, I am. With a whopping 22 points last year. Dumba. Matt Dumba.
That's a courageous pick.
That is. 12 power play points. That means if he plays a full season, he could have 30 if they have a decent power play, which they do, but they don't have a good team. But they still have a good power play. So I think their special teams will still be there. He has a rocket of a shot. The way he can just control the play, the way he can embrace himself into a game. A lot of players I've noticed that can't get into games, they have no reason to. They're just kind of like skating around out there doing their thing. Matt Dumba is in the middle of every kerfuffle. He'll hit people. He'll fight. He'll do everything. He'll get in the corner. He's so, I guess,
High impact.
yes, he's always there. He's doing things, and if you're always into the game, you're elevated. You're knowing what's next. You're looking 3 steps ahead. I don't think people really see what he can do yet, and I have him to hit at least 60 points this year.
Wow.
If not 65.
Well, NHL's more in line with you on that pick than they are the Trouba.
How about this? Better this. Dumba will get 64 points this year and lead them in points with 64.
I can definitely see Dumba leading Minnesota in points.
Donato will get 60.
Zach Parisi's going to be insulted by such comments.
Yeah, but Parise's good. Don't get me wrong. He'll get at least 50 points. Like, he's a good player for sure. But he's just getting
I'm worried about Dumba getting hurt. He gets beat up quite a bit.
Yeah, maybe an injury concern there, but I think everyone has that concern. He's rated 21st overall in the NHL list, but if you can pick him up, you probably won't see him to 25-30 anyways. Everyone's going to think the same thing, so definitely get your hands dirty there. You didn't have him on your list there? Nope. All right. I think we can all agree on our last pick here. My last pick. Me and Shelly's last pick. There's a few debates. I think you could have picked anyone in this spot and get pretty much the same numbers. We picked him in this spot because of his placement. He's not going to get picked very high. I think the upside is more of a potential 70 points. The most points by a rookie defenseman since Lindstrom in 1992 was 50 points. That's what Lindstrom got, the 50 points as a rookie.
Nicholas Lidstrom. He's talking about, not Willie Lindstrom.
That's why we need you, Shelly. All these old people names. Got the most 50 points as a rookie, and that hasn't been seen since. So
especially in the league the way it is now, the quality of the players, it's hard to be a rookie and do that. And he came in the playoffs.
But scoring's up. Let's not forget that scoring's up, and you're playing with one of the best teams in the league. Makar.
And Barry's out of town now.
He is.
No one else to run the power play but Makar.
Yeah, Makar's coming in at 11. There's no way he should not be in
the
here.
next Bobby Orr, to be quite honest with you. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. I really do.
His smarts, he just needs a couple more
My
pounds.
friend's son coached and manages the team in Okotoks in the Alberta Junior League, and he phoned me to tell me about this guy. Made a point of phoning me because he was out in the Alberta Junior
About Bobby Orr?
No, Makar.
Oh, I was like,
Makar
oh,
played
dude,
against
you gotta hear this. See this guy. His name is Bobby Orr. See him in the juniors if you can. How fucking old are you? That's awesome. Makar, though, yeah, he's pretty young. We're 2019 now.
Here, I thought it was respected. It turns out it was comic relief. I've been invited to this.
No. I still wear number 4. I love Bobby Orr. I love everything about it. That's pretty much where my favorite number comes from. But Makar, how many points is he gonna get, guys? Come on.
I think he's breaking that 50-point record.
I'm going with 60.
Yeah. He has upwards of 60. He probably wouldn't get much more than that. But if he breaks that 50, that's a record since 1992. Like, that's a whole, more than a decade. Like, that's pretty top shit, Makar. And that's why you're coming in 11. Who do we have as just missed? There's a few people you could have put in this list. People listening are like, you guys are nuts, man. Like,
you didn't. I mean, I get that there's injury concerns, and who knows how many games he's gonna play.
Klingberg.
But Erik Karlsson's still gonna get points every game he's in, even if he's a point a game.
But whereas
after 40
Even
games,
if he only plays 50 games, he's going to get 50 points.
He's going to get 50 points.
That's a good point.
I don't know. Burns sharing time with him.
That didn't affect him last year.
It didn't, but the dude is broken. Let's get real.
He can't skate anything what he was like in his Ottawa days.
Dude, because
100%.
he keeps compensating because he wanted to sign the contract. Just look at Karlsson's life. Let's play back a couple of years. When Karlsson was coming to the end of the contract, he knew that if he took a leave of absence, actually recovered properly in Ottawa, no one would have signed him. Now that he's got the 8-year contract, what better way to start the contract than to start rehab? He, I think, this year will miss significant time, and because it's a long time doing. He's been broken for the last 3 years.
That's a really good point, because that's what the problem was with Myers, and look how Winnipeg protected him and let him heal, and what it did for him and for our team, because Myers gave us 3 pretty darn good years of
He's
service.
broken. His ankles, everything is just his hams, like everything is just not working to the point where Karlsson should not be playing. He's such a champ, such a good hockey player, loves the game, that he knew he could do it, but now that he's that contract lined up, San Jose is a point that they're not in a bad position. If they don't have him, they're still going to do good. So if they're like, hey, Karlsson, you want to chill for a bit? You know what? That's fine, man. They're not coming to him like they need him this year. So
I agree with all these points, definitely. And that just goes to show how, again, we're going to compound this point. The NHL rankings is insane because they have him at number 1.
what?
Yeah, number 1. For the 1920 season.
We're going to go all in on broken Karlsson.
Number 1 on the NHL
With the
list.
K, not the
Erik
C.
Karlsson, with a K.
Well, not the one with
King
the C
Karl.
that goes before him
King
on
Karl.
all of our
The one
lists.
that
Yeah.
plays on the team that's built with Evander Kane on it.
Yeah.
The one that has Brent
I did
Burns
say
on the
that
team is
Shelley
number
Nicole
1
did
D.
say the word team and Kane in the same sentence, but it was only because it was kind of an odd.
How would you even put
I don't
Karlsson in front of Burns, knowing that Burns had 5 years at 82 games
That's what they did.
at plus 80 points?
I had Karlsson much lower than 1.
A Karlsson's healthy season is 50 points. 42 last year, I think.
Healthy season? The last time Karlsson...
No, I mean like as his healthy season is
Oh.
like 50 games.
Yeah. If you
They'd
get 50
be-
games out of Karlsson, you're
that would be
very happy
lucky
with it this year.
If San Jose got 50
For
out
his
of him.
rehab year, I
Yeah.
agree.
There's just no way they're getting 50 games out of him this year. We're going to book 18 games on him this year.
Someone else that made my list but missed Blair's Letang. Injury concerns as well, don't get me wrong, but even though injuries, 4 of the last 5 seasons, he's still hit 48 points.
We're talking at least 60 to make just miss.
The
I can flush Letang down the toilet. Next, Hamilton.
Wow. So
Carolina.
So my Letang doesn't at 7 doesn't
No.
wash with you either. What about my near miss?
Fuck your couch.
My near miss.
Yeah, give it to me. You're near miss.
Morrissey.
All right, I like it.
he's gonna get all the points off D.
I have Morrissey for 55 points to 57
I
this
think
year.
he might get 60, 65. I think this is a breakout year for him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where'd you have him on your list?
12.
Okay, it's top 11. What'd you have him on your list, Pat?
Who, Morrissey?
Miss.
I'm just kidding.
You just miss. You just miss at 13, 12, 14. You just missed. You know.
I think you have him on twice there. Where'd you have him? Where'd you
I
have
never
him?
lived that down. I feel buggered.
Holtby, and I'm gonna pick Holtby.
I liked them so much I picked them twice.
Where'd you have him?
Morrissey?
Yeah.
I didn't.
No. There's players like Subban, Klingberg, Heiskanen. Let's get into the Klingberg Heiskanen thing.
Yeah.
The whole reason I didn't put him on my list is I think Heiskanen's going to be fighting for that top power play spot. He's good enough to
agree.
take it over.
I agree.
I think he finds the net better than Klingberg. Klingberg wants to shoot too much, and the fact that Pavelski's in front of the net, I think Heiskanen's better at giving those shots to tip instead of to score. And Pavelski can get a piece on anything, but I think he fits into the system better. He's younger. He's going to play full season. Klingberg's a little injury concern there. and I don't know if you know that power play is going to be good. You just don't know who's going to play there. That's why I kind of had him on my list there. Subban, we were kind of talking about him there too. Huge year coming up in New Jersey there. He has a surrounding cast. He's going to get all the shots, but even last year, you looked at all the shots he took, and he still only had 31 points, 10 power play points. He led that power play to shit last year, to the last in power in the league. What's saying that on a shittier team in New Jersey, he's not going to lead them to worse? If you're playing for Nashville, and you have that surrounding cast, and you're last in the league, leading the power play, it's a lot to say that. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it's just a fresh start. New assistant coach running the power play. Just going to be a better runaround for Subban.
But tell me he doesn't shoot too much.
He shoots way too much.
Would you
We
rather
talked about
him
that in the wing.
him or Palmieri shooting? Palmieri's way better shot.
I rather
Hall.
Palmieri, Hall, Hughes, and Keisher shooting.
Yeah. I'd rather have a passer on that power play.
Palmieri, there's a nice hockey player too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Subban isn't making my list, because he's too much of a shooter and they need more of a passer.
Well, the plus minus thing might affect it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hamilton, I was kind of getting to that point where 18 goals last year. I think a lot that went down. Everyone missed that. No one even knew
He almost
Hamilton.
got 20 goals as a defenseman. That's pretty good.
He did. Guess how many power play points he had with only 18 goals. 7 power play points. So when that moves up to 30 this year, because Falk's going to get traded, and even if Falk doesn't get traded, if your best defenseman they think is Falk, and he got 7 goals or whatever last year, but your power play 2D and then even strength dude is getting 18 goals, put him on your fucking power play, please. There's no reason Hamilton shouldn't be on that power play one. That would have been a different playoff with him on your first power play. The shit he was doing in power play or in playoffs was ridiculous. He's good under pressure. He can make those dangles. He's got good hands for being like almost 7 feet tall. He's got an amazing shot, obviously with the 18 goals. He's obviously had dressing room problems. That's why he's been traded around from Boston to whatever. But I think he found his niche in Carolina. He's cocky. They love it there. And I think he's a good fit. And he's going to break the 20-goal point mark this year. And if it's including a little more power play time, Falk getting traded, I don't care what it is. But keep an eye out for Hamilton. NHL has him at 26. I got him at 12. Like just missing, basically. But
You make a compelling argument for it. Did he not play in Calgary for a while too?
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
I watched him there, and I thought Calgary was tooling up for a big run, and then
Yeah.
it was just not as good a year as Giordano has had in the past. And TJ Brody, I don't know what happened to him. He just fell apart.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad trade for Calgary. Like they did get a younger D that can do what they need, but Hamilton I think is perfect for Carolina's power play for sure.
Carolina's going to surprise a few teams. Not
Yeah.
really surprise. And Rob Brendan, as your coach, excuse me, you know that they're going to outwork and outcompete in a lot of situations where other teams don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, Carolina won't. Will it actually be a surprise if they repeat the same success as last year?
Not to me.
well I have Svechnikov as one of my best breakout candidates this year. Watching him in playoffs, he got knocked the fuck out by Ovechkin. Why would he even fight a dude like that? Ovechkin's a beast. He was the one that wanted to fight. Nobody was like, sure, and then just basically one punched him, and he was out of the playoffs. But before that, he got 2 games, game before a goal there. He was looking good out there, and
Yep.
he's a
It was a big loss.
first round pick a couple years ago. He's gonna have a big year this year.
He certainly wasn't thinking of his team with that decision, was he?
I don't think they needed that fight with the momentum at that time, and why would you fight Ovi, man?
Yeah, the guy that's built the same as a fridge.
Yeah, and you could tell Ovi didn't want to. He's like, all right, fuck it. I'm the captain. I kind of got it.
Kind of reminds me of the fight that Mike Eagles had with Joey Kocher one year. Kocher put him down with one punch. Eagles hit the deck, got up, and skated to the box. He had taken one for the team. It was one of those situations where you just have to fight. Some guys are good at it, some guys aren't. You don't want to see the bad fighters fighting the good, tough guys, though.
So best fighter on the Jets, Lowry.
It's Paluzzo's ghost.
Paluzzo's ghost. The ghost of me.
Yeah, really.
The ghost of me.
Paluzzo's shadow might be the best fighter on the Jets this year.
Lowry, look how hard Shelly's thinking about this.
Well, I love gritty, hardworking, tough hockey, but I also like to know like Edmonton knew when they had Cement Head with Gretzky, if you have the toughest fighter, nobody goes after your protected assets. And
Yeah, it's
we don't have that.
A one player
Bufflin was the
answer.
guy. And
Okay.
Bufflin's the guy. But he's not going to be playing maybe, so they got to really take a look at it. But everybody knows Bufflin's the guy.
Do you think Poolman could potentially come up and that's how he gets on the team?
I think he gets on the team because of how few D they have.
When they want toughness, they'll be looking for guys like JP Boucher. They've got tough defensemen who know how to play tough fighting hockey in front of the net.
Man, Sandberg, I can't wait till he comes up. He's gonna be our stud muffin. All right, we're out.